the main items are good morning, Madhur, divided here. So, everything to do with learning and support and sending an email to the scientific team about synthesis are here. This section is for program updates or new content or license updates. Here we have websites that are not, they're affiliated to us, but they're not to do with RadarOpus per se. And here we've got RadarOpus.com. You can join the Facebook group there, sign up to the newsletter. So if we open the website, across, you've got the video section. That's where all the recordings will be. I am a little slow on adding them, I must admit. My wake up time at the moment is about 4 a.m. to with the 8-month-old baby. So that's my excuse. You can take it or leave it. So yeah, there's 2 up. We need to add the others, and I will do that. But that also means you can watch back for any recordings. Let's let some more people in. Okay, this website has some really good stuff on it. You've got, especially, I think I showed you this last time. Hi, Marlene. Like your background. Well, good remedy cabinet. But yeah, if you go to content, products, RadarOpus content. Hi, Louise. Nice to see you. If you click on repertories, these are not just, it's not about selling you something, it's about informing you what the repertory is all about. So this is NER's repertory of Herring's guiding symptoms. Okay, and it tells you what it's all about. It's a concordance repertory, which basically stays incredibly faithful to Herring's guiding symptoms. And as such, there's lots of single remedy rubrics that are very, very specific and useful for treating pathological cases because it always includes the pathology in the symptom text, which is one of the USPs of the NER repertory. So yeah, and in all of these like articles, I could call them, it gives you some examples of how you could use it. So if you've got a case of colic, you could just search for colic and see all the other symptoms. Or you can search for a diagnosis alongside a particular physical, like urine acrid in jaundice. You've got iodine. Then, of course, you can look at the materia medica to see if it matches. But this is like a pinpoint rubric kind of approach with this repertory. So let's we could add any pathology. So let's open it. So I go to let's do my mouse highlight. There we go. So I click on repertories and I open my full list, and you can type to find it, Herring or NER. And there, if you click on the arrow here, you can see the chapters in your table of contents. And then you can browse by chapter. Or you can search for a word like a condition or pathology. Now mine's set to search in all documents at the moment, so that's a very broad search, might take a little while. But yeah, you can see 26,894 hits were found in a relatively short space of time. But if I change it to the current document only, it's just going to show me everything in NER's repertory. So nearly 3,000. Excuse me. Sneeze, it doesn't want to come. So if you added, well, let's see, vertigo and colic. And you can actually see, from just clicking here, you don't even need to enter the repertory because they're all single symptom rubrics and they're all sort of clinically confirmed. Not all of them. So that's one way to use NER's repertory, with a very specific diagnosis or pathology. And one of the things about it as well is that it has a different structure and philosophy to Kent's repertory. So all of these symptoms that come below as sub-rubrics, they're not automatically copied up to the main absent-minded rubric in this repertory, which is probably because it was, I don't know, too much labor by it to do that by hand. But you can do it quite easily in RadarOpus with, you guessed it, my favorite thing, the take menu, which is F6. And you just click here, take all the remedies of the sub rubrics as well. And then you create a bigger rubric. So you add 11, I think. So you can use NERS repertory to, make building blocks as well. And then you'll be basically using Herring's Guiding Symptoms as a repertory. That's what it is. And Herring's Guiding Symptoms is actually all of the grading in Kent's repertory stems from that one work. Maybe not all of it, but that was the start point, so I believe. So anyway, right, I'm babbling. One of you here must have something you would like to know. Otherwise, or you could just be along for the ride. But as I don't prepare anything, it seems a bit mean to make me freestyle for an entire hour. So let's have a question. Type it in the chat box or speak it out loud.
I've got a question.
Luke, now I have a. Oh, sorry. I should go first.
You sure?
Yes.
Thank you. Luke, when I had a one-to-one with you absolutely ages ago, you showed me how to compare more than two remedies for certain symptoms. So I'd really love you to show me that again, please, because
yes.
And also how different, because I'm not on a Mac, I'm on a non-Mac.
Windows. Yeah, I'm using Windows at the moment, so
okay.
It look the same for you. Yeah, so the first thing to do is open the advanced search, which we're looking at here. So you can open it from there, like that, or you can just click on the search icon, and that will open whatever you have set as your preference, and then you can change it over here. You can change between simple and advanced with these two icons from the search window. And this just erases the search. So mine is set to open in the simple search. If you click on the preferences icon, you can decide which one you want to open. Yeah.
I remember it's sort of having several sort of, branches, as it were. And that's it. That's what I wasn't sure how to get to.
Right. So let's say we want to research cuprum, metallicum, argentum, nitricum, and aurum. And what's the other one there? That'll do. So we've got stage 11 of the periodic table in row 4, row 5, row 6. And then you can search in the current document, which at the moment is NERS repertory. And if you press search now, it will show you all the rubrics that they have in common.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And if you click here, it doesn't look like a button, but it is when you hover over it. You do this option at the bottom. So what we're looking for there is the common rubrics and the exclusive rubrics of each one. And then when I press the search, it creates 3 tabs here. So the first is what we had then, it has both of them. Then we've got cuprum without aurum or arginate. And this one we've got arginate without cuprum or aurum. And this one aurum without cuprum or arginate. And then if you want to compare them easily, you can define it to a particular section. That's, just because it's there. I'll say mind, redoes the search. And then you can say, look, I'm considering either of these 3 stage 11 remedies, and I want to look at them all. So you can do Control A or right click, Control A, select all rubrics, and then drag them to a clipboard. And then you can essentially, that can be your cuprum clipboard.
Gosh, can you have that many in a? I thought there was like a maximum of about 40 on each clipboard.
It depends how fast your computer is and how much RAM you have and that sort of stuff as to how many you can realistically put on there. Because this is quite a powerful Windows machine, so it can handle it. But if you find that your system gets slow, try closing all your other applications, especially if you don't have much RAM. Because a computer these days, whether it's Mac or Windows, takes about 4, 5, 6 GB just to load its operating system. So then you're left with 2 GB if you have only 8 GB of RAM, and that will be used up by RadarOpus.
Oh, okay.
You give yourself, as soon as you open, like the internet takes up loads of RAM, Zoom takes up loads of RAM. So you've got to bear those things in mind. And
Yeah.
RAM
No, I've noticed recently I keep getting, my computer keeps on saying, I can't remember what the thing was. It's saying about low disk space or something, and I'm thinking there's not much on my computer, but
yeah, you could get an external disk for not too much money.
Yeah. Okay.
With like a terabyte of storage space and chuck everything onto there. You might need to delete some applications because applications themselves, and RadarOpus is bad for that. It takes up 25 GB. So
okay,
because it's got such a big library. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. And there is a video about it on the website as well, in the video section. So I'll find that for you now and put a link in the chat, shall I? That'd be good. And so, Richard, on to your question, sir.
Actually, I think I've just figured it out now. My question was when there's a funny little light bulb thing next to a rubric.
Oh yeah.
And if you hover over it, it goes to a list, a sort of drop down menu, but it didn't seem to do anything. You could laugh to that, but I realize it's because it doesn't do anything if I don't have that particular book on my computer. And I think that's the reason why it wasn't doing anything after that, where it was because sometimes I do have the book, and it then goes to the, in this case, like the one I'm looking at the moment, this semiological guide it goes to. And then there are a number of, next to the rubrics in there, a number of little, to the right of the rubric is a little sort of mauve colored square thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem to do anything. You click on that.
No. All right. Let me clear that up for you. So these are called concept files, and they're designed. So here's one, vet concepts. Here's one on themes. The one that what do I use sometimes? Radar concepts. So you can open the concept file itself, and you're saying that you're seeing this, and it gives you links to a particular rubric. So say you had a case of angina pectoris. This is going to give you rubrics that are like common to that pathology. So actually not that helpful homeopathically, but in an acute setting, and and then if there's a lack of other symptoms, this is a shortcut to there. So if I double click on that rubric, it takes me to that point essentially. And there's two options with these light bulbs. You can have them come up like this, like I do, or you can have them in a list under the cross references. And what you need to do to see them, to toggle between those two options, is to click this cogwheel in the repertory. And if you do this, you can see I've expanded relations to concepts. So that shows me all the links to the different concept repertories that are linking to that particular symptom. Now, my main gripe with this is that it comes above the cross references, and I find the cross references way more useful, and there's no way of putting them underneath. So as much as I'm interested in them, I choose to hide them with that option. And they're available from here. Or if you do a search and you search for angina, and you set it to search in all repertories, you'll see it come up in your concepts file. And then you can double click. And then you can have these so that they expand outwards. So again, if I come to the preferences icon, and this time I expand the relation to symptoms, I'm going to see them all available for me. And I'm pretty sure that you can now select the ones you want to take by holding the control key or command on a Mac, and then dragging and dropping into your clipboard. So it's a shortcut to building a repertorization based on different types of concepts. In this case, medical disorders that are organized by systems. Nice work by Frederick.
What did you just do to get that little box that came up there with the list?
Oh, yeah, you click on the binoculars.
Oh, just there, yes.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't understand it because your font is slightly different. That was the only difference.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we look at eczema, we've got loads of different symptoms. It's a helpful little tool that if you're dealing with a condition and you can't think of the rubric, you could type in eczema and then look in the concepts file rather than going straight into your repertory. Maybe you think, oh, hey, maybe there's something that can help me in here.
A sort of Yaga type approach.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. But my suggestion would be to have these settings then. So don't expand them in the repertory in synthesis, but expand them in the concept repertory itself, and then use your search tool. And if you want to, you can actually specify. So you see here, I have a search keyword typed already. If I click on the A to Z button, I can then tell it where to search, and I can be very exact. I can say, just search in concepts. And that then, it's a more concerted approach to using those concept repertoires.
There's about 10,000 things that RadarOpus does, and I think I know about 20 maybe.
Yeah, I know. It's a very deep program that's been in development since the 80s, and lots of people have kind of said their piece and contributed, because Radar 10, I guess because of the Windows architecture it was built in, allowed for a lot of fast editing, and people who collaborated made these concept files essentially for themselves and then shared them. That's where they come from, really. So like Marcos Zulian, sorry, he's got this that he obviously did for himself. It's a load of shortcuts basically, and interesting and nice. It's like a load of. So what I've done really is quite similar, but I've put it into, because we can't actually make concepts repertories anymore in the new program. What we've got instead is a personal chapter, and in there you can create your own themes or concepts and add cross references yourself if you want shortcuts.
Thank you. Let's see, there's something in the chat now for you.
Oh yeah, there is. Thank you. Okay, from John. My analysis view defaults to Van Bunzel. When I move a sub-rubric from a repertory that is in full repertory view, it shows only the Van Bunzel view. Switching the analysis to full repertory won't show the excluded rubrics. Okay, do you want the default to be Van Bunzel or not? That's the first question.
Actually, I don't want I'd like to be able to switch.
You want to switch, yeah. Okay. So the switching happens here, and you should be able to. So let's just see what's happening here. Okay, so line chapter. If we switch to Van Wunsel, we can see the view change and a lot of the information disappear and limit down to a more classical, well-known, sort of group of remedies. And there are two icons that have a bearing on the repertory once you change the view, and they're over here. So this one here shows me the symptoms that are not included in the view, the extra symptoms, so that they should come up and we should see that there's nothing in them. Let's just see. Okay, no, that's with it active. So that one, you see, when I have it active, I've got certain symptoms that don't have any remedies in because of the view. And then if I add this thing in, it shows me all the remedies that are excluded from the view, like these families and Califos and etc. So
Okay. If you drag one of those to the analysis, well, it comes over as Van Walsall view,
yeah.
and I can't change it.
Okay, so it's a bug in your system then, because it's working here. So you should be able to, any change you make, whether it's in the analysis or the repertory, which should be, Kent's repertory revised, it should update here. And then likewise in the search engine, sometimes you might search for, let's see, I saw Max Moscata there. And I'm going to search in in the current document. There's some where it's got a strike through, and that shows that it's
Yes.
not in that view. Yeah. So in case you're using the views and you see the strike through, that's what it's about. So then, yeah.
This began when I upgraded to 4.1.4.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's a bug.
It's a bug. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me play with that as well then, because I noticed then that I was in the Kent repertory view, and when I searched, it did the search results in the Van Wunsel view. So I can see what you're saying. It's not like registered. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When you switch and when you pull it into, no matter what I tried to do to switch views in either the analysis or in the repertory, it still comes across in Van Wunsel.
Right. And you're using 4.1. Yeah, sure. Yeah. 4.1.4. Right, and I'm on 4.3. Okay. Pioneers. So it changes. I would say so far it seems that if you change it in the repertory, it's maybe slightly more reliable than if you change it in the analysis. That would be the first thing to try as you work around whilst we fix it. Yeah.
That's true. But when you want to put it in the analysis, it comes across as Van Wunsel, and I found no way to change it. I've played with the different views. So
right. Yeah.
If I can repeat it, I have to put a plug in real quick for your technical support. When I upgraded to 4.1.4, I found a bunch of bugs and just missing pieces and parts like that, and then I actually couldn't save my analysis to a new client.
Right.
They responded within days, fixed all the bugs, and within a matter of minutes on a remote session, fixed the SQL problem that I was having. I would rather not have the bugs, but they are really good at cleaning things up.
Yeah. They absolutely. It is such a big program, pretty labyrinthine. The code, code coming back from Radar 10. So, yeah, they have a quite hard task. But yeah, I appreciate your understanding and sort of testing it, and yeah, that's good feedback actually. So, thank you.
Yeah. That used to be one of my former jobs was breaking programs.
Breaking programs, yeah. There's something quite fun about it in a way. Finding the weak
spots. Thank you.
Not when you lose work on your patients, though. That's not.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Okay, Jatin, you're welcome. Thank you for that. Louise, when I open Radar, it goes straight to synthesis. How can I change it to always open in Murphy, please? Yep, good question. So the way that I would do it is to click on this little arrow here. This is like your repertory tab.
Which one? I've got mine open at the moment.
Yeah. So you have the repertory, showing, whichever repertory it is, showing.
Yeah.
Over here. Click on the little arrow here, and that will show all the ones that you have open.
Right, can you just go back to I don't think which arrow are you pointing to on that top right corner? Oh, the down arrow, yeah. Okay. I've only got the 2 on mine because I've only got the add-on of Murphy.
That's
and it always used to open in Murphy, but now it doesn't.
Well, I would just do close all windows in this category.
Yeah.
That then closes all your repertories.
Yeah.
And just open Murphy. And then I don't have the names, do I? There.
Yeah.
Just open Murphy.
Yeah.
And then close the program. And then when it reopens.
Close everything down now.
Yeah.
Okay.
save your work, and then close the program, and then it will reload with just Murphy open.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you. Can I ask another quick question while I remember?
Yeah.
I have, because you remember a couple of years ago, my old computer crashed and burned, and I had to get a new one and a new radar. I have not upgraded. I've still got 3.2.17 because every time I come out of it, it says, "Have you done your backup?" And I haven't done one for a while. And then it says, "Do you want to upgrade?" And I am so nervous about upgrading it because of what's happened in the past. So what should I do?
What are you on? 3.2?
Yeah. Has there been many updates since then?
I would wait a little while for 4.1 to be bug free, and then update. But as long as you've backed up, there's not much, that can go wrong really. If anything happens, basically we changed the way the updates work so that it always does a clean installation now when you update. And it automatically removes the one you have, backs it up, removes it, installs the new one, then restores your backup. It does that all automatically. But you should also make your own just in case anything goes wrong. If you're really nervous, you can contact our support team and say, "Hey, this stuff happened to me in the past. I'm really nervous about this. Can you help me?" and they'll help you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they have helped me before. I mean, they got me up again, so I know how fantastic they are when they take over your screen and then everything's going all over the place, and you're thinking, "What the heck?"
Yeah. What I mean is that you can be prophylactic about it. You can say, "I'm nervous. Can you help me?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, download it," and they'll be there to sort of see you through it because they'll probably be able to do other tasks at the same time. They'll just be watching yours, making sure that nothing goes wrong. So it's like a little security blanket for you.
Lovely, thank you.
That's what I would do. Yeah. All righty. So Gunilla, yes, the webcam's being recorded. And I do have a bunch that I need to upload. And if you want to see them, you go to RadarOpus.com, which you can access from help. Visit RadarOpus.com. Or there probably is even a shortcut to videos specifically. But anyway, then that opens your browser and you go to video. And then you go down, go to all videos, and they'll be there. So if they're not at the top, you just search for Q&A here, and you should see them. All right, that's that one. Okay, Madhu, what's the version we should be on? I'm currently on 3.3.24. So we had to bring out 4.1 earlier than we'd hoped because there was a problem that developed on Windows 11 with the previous version that was making it randomly crash. And so that needed to be brought out early for Windows users. So if you're on a Mac, you won't have been given that new version yet because it's, we are still testing it at the moment. So 3.3.24 is the previous version. And the main changes has been a massive cleanup to the database, the back end of the database, so that it loads faster and it does everything a bit better and cleaner. And also a lot of work was done at the scientific level of like bringing remedy names up to current sort of scientific what's the right nomenclature, I suppose. So you will see that certain remedies have a different abbreviation in the new version, and that's an attempt to bring homeopathy more up to modern scientific standards. Okay, so that's that one. So from Jatin, okay, sir, I have the same version of Radar as you. When I hibernate and restart PC, the fonts are changed to big, and side icons of upper tabs are not visible. Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? I never hibernate my PC. I just switch it off. They just don't like going to sleep. A Mac loves going to sleep, Yeah, you are using a PC. So that would be my solution for that. Leave the PC running and then just switch it off. Um, sometimes if you're using multiple screens, you get sort of glitchy stuff like that as well. One thing you could try on Windows is there's these shortcuts where you press the start button, then you use the direction arrows, and you can kind of move things around like that until it comes back to normal. So you could play with that as an idea, see if that solves the problem. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think the other thing to say about Windows is that unfortunately, because of the SQL like side of RadarOpus, which is something the programmers know about. I don't really know about it other than that I know the acronym. It means that on Windows, it works best if you have the following settings. So press the start key and go to, I think it's in display settings. Go down to scale and layout. So for me, 100% works really well in RadarOpus. And it makes the taskbar icons a bit small. But in general, you can like correct that by increasing the size of the font throughout the whole of Windows. And then to me, it looks nice. Everything looks crisp and clear with it. But a lot of PCs come with the scale set to 125 or even higher. And that will make things look like the icons of RadarOpus will be really big in that case. And the font will be a bit blurry, which is not nice. So I would do that. So the other thing is font. Text size is the other one. So you can see I've increased mine to 140% to compensate for the fact that I'm using 100% scaling. And that for me works really well. But that's the thing with Windows. They're good, they're powerful, you get much more for your money, but you often have to like tweak them a lot more to get the nice user experience that you get as part of Mac. And I've been in both camps, and so anyway, right, next question. Write in the chat or say hello and talk to me. Either's fine. Talking's the best. If you've asked loads of questions and you have more, just go for it. If people are quiet, they're just here for the ride. They're probably not even watching. Hey, go on, Louise.
Oh, sorry.
It's to do with so I'm on a laptop at the moment that's Windows, but I would really quite like to move to a Mac.
Yeah.
But can you switch my radar from a Windows to a Mac, or would I have to buy the whole program again?
No, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is to again contact the support team and they'll move the license for you. So you just make sure you have both computers there. You would install RadarOpus on the Mac, and then they would transfer your license from one computer to the other.
And then the $60 million question is, which do you think is better, Windows or Mac for running Radar?
There are certain things that are better in both, I would say. I would say on a Mac, searching is always a bit faster, for whatever reason.
Right.
But on Windows, you get like this computer. I don't know what the Mac, say you spend 2.5 grand on a computer. For Windows, that gets you 64 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabyte hard disk, the fastest possible solid state drive. So you get way more for your money. So you get a much more high performing machine with loads of space on it. With Windows. Then so if you got the equivalent with Mac, you pay more of a premium. And for me, the differences between them in other respects are so small now. If I was still doing music on a computer, I would probably still use a Mac. But yeah.
Okay. That's really helpful, thanks. I probably will stick with Windows, but at the moment I'm running two. Well, I will be running two businesses off the same computer, and I don't think there's enough room for everything.
Just yeah, spend as much as you can. And obviously it's taxable expense, so spend as much as you can, and it will last much longer than if you get a middle of the road PC. And as homeopaths now, we have to see a lot of people online. So you're asking your computer to do a lot more than you did 4 or 5 years ago. Lots of things are online now. You've got Zoom, you've got the internet, you've got RadarOpus, you've got any other applications you use open as well. So yeah.
And how big did you say RadarOpus is on a
25 gigabytes.
25 gigabytes.
Although it might be a bit smaller with the clean database. I need to check.
Okay. Oh, it's lovely. Thank you.
That's all right.
You've answered all my questions now. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Luke. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Veronique.
Hi. How are you doing? Maybe if you don't mind, if you could sort of run through. I know you do have a video of it, but I find it a bit difficult to follow.
Yep.
A bit fast. How to add symptoms to the new repertory to on the fly type thing.
The personal repertory or the personal chapter?
I think it's personal repertory. Now, what is the difference between what is a personal chapter again?
The personal chapter is at the end of Synthesis Adonis.
Yes.
And if you're going to use that, it means that you can create nice themes that are full of cross references to various symptoms in Synthesis. And it means that anything you add there will obviously be you can find through a search within Synthesis.
I understand. With the personal repertory, it's separate.
It's a separate thing. But you can search in all repertories. So yeah. Okay.
So maybe it's the personal chapter thing.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to do is to sort of add themes according to categories of remedies, such as fishes or mammals or whatever you have.
Okay.
Wanting to add a list of my themes. So that's
perfect. All right. Very good. So when you're first learning to make additions, it's good to use the menu. And once you've done it a bunch of times, you'll have taken note of these shortcuts, and eventually you can use the shortcuts to do the operations. So essentially you want to find your spot. So if I want to add families, it needs to be between A and T. Then I go up to the additions menu and I choose to add a symptom.
Yeah.
And you're always adding the symptom below the level. You're never adding it above. So you choose the level that you want to put it in. Yeah. Then the next thing you have to do is to choose whether it's at the same level, i.e. it's a rubric itself, or whether it's a sub-rubric. So in this case, it's at the same level. And then we just write the text and you press enter twice, just because then you actually check the spelling, and it seems to be a thing in Radar that you have to press enter twice anyway. So then you've got families. So then the shortcut for that operation, which you're going to use a lot, is Control F10.
Right.
And then the next shortcut you need to learn is Alt A or Alt S. So that kind of changes these two options.
Yeah.
Alt S is a sub-rubric now. So fish remedies checked. Okay. So there we go. And then I do another one, and it's still as a sub-rubric so far. So it could be like speed, desire for, effect. Okay. This kind of thing, right? And then what you would do is do Control F8, which is to add the remedy.
Yeah. Okay. I understand.
Add the remedy. Type the remedy. Click. Decide what degree you want it to be. And then you should, because you've created you need to have created a personal repertory or personal materia medica to then have your author reference. So it's worth doing that anyway.
Okay, yeah, I have that done.
Yeah, and then
Okay,
be
you
added.
add your own reference. Yeah.
The benefit of using the personal repertory is that because it's not adding it to synthesis, it's much, much faster. The
Right.
operations are like that. Whereas if you do it in synthesis, it's got to kind of put it into the correct position in the synthesis database. So it's more sluggish, unfortunately.
Right. So
Yeah.
the personal chapter way of doing it is quicker.
No, the personal repertory is quicker. The
Oh,
time where I would use the personal chapter is if I want to make cross references or add words that are linking to existing symptoms would be the main time I would use it. So if I was to do something like themes, speed, desire for as a theme in synthesis, then I searched for that symptom in synthesis. I might decide that it's about dream speeding and velocity desire for that I'm gonna add here. So I double click here, then I make an addition to add a cross reference. Then I go personal chapter, themes, speed desire for, okay. And then that creates my cross reference. And I go back to the search to this symptom, back up here, add the cross reference, go back here. And that would be what I would use the personal chapter for now, is to create your own sort of thematic rubrics like that. But for the personal repertory, for those of you who don't know, you need to have version 3.3 and you need to have the create and analyze bundle added to your program. So if you click on the shop, you can search for it basically. There it is. So you can add that and you'll be able to make your own repertory and your own materia medica and your own symptom templates, which we talked about quite a lot last time. Okay, so that's a nice little bundle that will enhance RadarOpus if you're wanting to make it more your own.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'll be able to sort of watch this again, or
yeah, it will be
right?
put in the video section. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, go to File, Create New Repertory or New Reference. That's where you do it once you've bought the Create and Analyze bundle. So it's one of those things where you make the purchase and your program won't look any different, and you'll think, "Hey, what is this?" So that's where you need to go.
I got a question. Or can you hear me?
Yeah. Go for it.
Is it okay to come with a new question?
Yeah. There's a few in the chat, but go for it.
Yeah. I get the latest version on a PC computer.
Yeah.
Radar. And is it possible to use? I get two screens. Can I use and have the repertory on one screen? And no.
No, it's on my wish list as well.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be very cool.
Are you planning on make it happen or?
On multiple screens. Let's see if any of the programmers are in here. No, not at the moment. I will ask how difficult it would be because
I will set it on a wish list.
Yeah. I'll ask them now. See.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see. Okay. So John, I've never explored Clifical. Yeah, Clifical is was used quite a lot during COVID, and it became like very geared towards um, publishing cases for COVID-19. Um, and then they did a second project which was about female hormonal problems. And so it's not like it's set up for specific projects, and they had to be quite like there were kind of individuals who would vet people who were, going to contribute cases and stuff. So I don't know the exact state of Cliff Call at the moment. But the idea is that, it's a platform for sharing clinical cases, and you should be able to upload them from the RadarOpus patient file. That's the design that it should have, but it's not quite there yet, if I'm honest. So Jatin, can we copy info from Radar and paste it in phone for quick reference? If you have like a Mac and an iPhone, when you copy things to the clipboard on your Mac, often it carries across to your iPhone. I haven't found anything similar for Windows, but so yeah, you should be able to say open a Materia Medica, and there's kind of limits to how much you can copy these days, but you can copy symptom text only is the thing to do. And then paste. Actually do it. Okay, might have found another bug. Oh, there it is. Okay. And then what with that on your clipboard, as I say, with a Mac, that would carry across to your phone. But don't know about Windows. They don't have Windows phones never took off, did they? Right. Danielle, how do I add more references under quick references when looking at a remedy? Good question. All right, so this is how you do it. You need to click on the references icon, and that opens this table of contents. And then you click on the little cog, our favorite thing. Then you go to quick reference, and then you basically pick them. So what you would do is type the name of the person you're looking for, and then you can add them here. So Murphy was added already. Let's see if Gibson. So let's say I want to add Gibson studies, homeopathic remedies and elements of homeopathy into my quick references. So all of these ones will remain in there, and it's going to add these guys. So use selected documents. And then, yeah, this window is unfortunately incredibly small, so it's hard to see. But trust it, they've gone in. And then let's open a remedy like, oh, crash. Great. There. When you next search for a remedy, they should come up basically. Okay. So luckily for me, it opens quite fast these days. So if I search for sulfur now, let's see if it remembered those. I need to do them again with the crash. No, Gibson's there. Look. Okay, so that's the way to do it. Click on Materia Medica, click on the cogwheel, click on the quick reference, type the name, put a tick in the tick box, click here, job done. Okay. Anyone else want to come in with a question? Or if not, I will wrap up early. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for coming. I will use this extra 10 minutes now to upload the old Q&As, so they're available to watch.
Hello, sir.
Thank you. Are they only available by going into radaropus.com via RadarOpus?
No, you can bookmark radaropus.com on your browser, or just, you know, your browser will remember it once you've typed it a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, any other techniques that you can share which only you knows?
Any other techniques? Let's think. What haven't I shared yet? Ooh, I told you about the search area, didn't I? Already last time. I think we've talked about the document mix as well. But I could show you again how to use the search area. That's quite a useful tool. So let's say you have you want to use the mind section of Mangialavori. He uses Latin, so mens, and synthesis. And you want to have QRep, which is Jeremy's repertory, Jeremy Share, which is also mind. And you want to put in, let's see, Helmanello's index to the crystals, mind section. And also Patricia Hatherley's, oh, I keep forgetting that I've done that. Lax repertory. Go to mind here. So every time you just drag it onto your search area, and then when you click on it, you'll see what's there. Okay. Then we could add Murphy, which is version 3. Right, we're missing anything there? Maybe. No, we can go in there. So you could essentially like select the mind chapters of the main repertories you have in your toolkit. And then when you conduct a search, either for a symptom or a remedy, it's going to come through. You can choose that as a search area. And this can be saved. So you open it and you click save and you put it in your search queries. This will be part of your backup, so it will always be available to you. We'll call it save mind sections. Save now. So if I click on open, I can see all of the ones that I've made. And as I'm using the beta, it's only got one. All right, so I can close that now. So I could right click Agnes Castus, search for the remedy in the current search area. And I've got the mind section of all those repertories where it's come up. But equally, I could search for a symptom like abuse. And then because all of these small repertories have different things in them, you can view all the documents in one list and then combine them all. So right click, take all the rubrics, add to one clipboard. And then we've got a bigger, more embracing, more overarching approach where we've got Tamanello's gemstones coming through. We've got the families from Synthesis Adonis. We've got the well-known nitric acid, the carcinosin. We'll have more lac remedies because we use Patricia Hatherley's. We'll have all of Mangialavori's